Hey everybody, welcome back to Rewind GenX podcast with Matt and Allie.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Allie. And this week we are reviewing a movie from the 90s, right?
1994.
94. So this is starring the wonderful Jim Carrey. It is, I don't know if it's one of his first movies, one of his breakout
Yeah,
movies,
it's definitely his breakout movie. He'd done a few things before this, like Once Bitten and a couple other things,
Yeah.
like Earth Girls Are Easy. But this is definitely his breakout role. He had 3 major hits in 1 year, and this was the first of those 3. And we're talking about none other than Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Here's a quick
snippet of the trailer.
They faced incredible odds and unbeatable enemies to earn the name hero. But now there's a new way to spell action. Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. He's the best there is.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Pet Detective.
Actually, he's the only one there is.
You really love animals, don't you?
If it gets cold enough.
Now, the mascot of the Miami Dolphins has been kidnapped.
Alrighty then.
And he's on the case of a lifetime.
Listen, Pet Dick, how would you like me to make your life a living hell?
Well, I'm not really ready for a relationship, Lois.
There's no place he won't go.
Captain's log, stardate 23.9.
Ace, get out of the tank.
I just can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power.
Nothing he won't do. And no one he can't handle.
Hey!
If you do anything to embarrass me in front of camp.
What? Like this?
So there you go. So let's get into the grades.
Sure.
And then just talk briefly about how we liked the movie, how we
Okay.
felt about the movie. You can go first.
So I watched this when I was younger, definitely. I think I was maybe like 8, maybe a little older or something
Yeah,
like
probably
that.
like 10 or 11, but
Okay.
okay.
But I remember really, really, really liking it. So I thought I was going to give it a high score. This time around watching it, I feel like I liked it less. And I was kind of disappointed because was it funny? Yeah, but I remember it being a lot funnier. And I remember enjoying it a lot more. So my grade is lower than I expected it would be. And I ended up giving it a B, solid B. And I remember, yeah, you were kind of saying similar things.
Same. Yeah, this came out when I was 20. And, most 20-year-old males are pretty immature. And not that I'm so mature now. I'm still pretty immature if you look at the back of the wall here. But
Yeah.
definitely I was a little more immature back then. And I did like it. If I had reviewed this movie 32 years ago when it came out at the age of 20, I definitely would have given it an A. Today I give it a B-. There's still a lot of funny lines in it. He's still great doing his shtick, but a lot of it's just a little too silly for my 52-year-old taste.
And I feel like I was surprised because we love silly comedy, like we love Austin Powers and what's another thing? We love that kind of comedy, but I just feel like I don't know, it didn't sit with me for this one.
Yeah, definitely. Like, and I know this movie definitely wouldn't hold up in today's era. There's
as far as like PC.
Yeah, it's definitely not politically correct or woke, whatever term you want to use. There's definitely some
offensive
homophobic or
things,
transphobic stuff in there that I actually, it didn't offend me personally, but I definitely think they took it too far.
A little overdid
it was overkill.
Yeah.
It was overkill with
how
grossed out they were.
I didn't find it like funny. I wasn't like laughing. It wasn't.
No, like, okay, I could see him being a little freaked out that, he
kissed a guy.
Yeah, but like they just
not to that extent.
No, they like overkilled that big time. And I guess they did whatever thought would work for laughs, and so
and I guess it did.
The movie was a hit. So and honestly, they were worried it wasn't going to be a hit. The fun fact says that both Jim Carrey and the director were like concerned this was going to tank their careers, but it wound up doing the opposite. and it was a huge success. And it doesn't get good grades. I was looking at the Rotten Tomato. It's like the critics was in the 40s, and then the audience score is like in the 50s,
Yeah.
which I think that's today's audience looking at it. If this was the
Right.
audience from 30 years ago,
It probably would have been higher.
it would have been much higher because this movie was a hit.
Yeah.
But I think because of the, non-woke stuff, a lot of people are kind of turning their backs on this film.
And I get that. I get it.
It's definitely insensitive. Whatever your beliefs are, it's you're always supposed to be kind and
Right.
and respectful of other people, and so it is a little insensitive. But again, there's a lot of funny stuff in it. Some of it was a little too I don't want to say crude or crass. Look, is this movie crude? Yes. Is it crass? Yes. Is it offensive at times? Sure. Is it funny? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of funny stuff in there, and so it's worth your time watching. If you're
It's
not easily offended,
one watch.
it's certainly worth your time. If you're not easily offended, certainly it's worth at least one watch. And if you love it, and you watch it over and over again. Great.
Yeah.
Some people just absolutely love his comedy, and I to some
And I
extent,
do like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I
I
do
just
too.
know this was a little much for me.
I'm very curious as to how I'm going to feel about the sequel, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. We'll have to do that at some point.
Have you seen it?
I have, and I think I'm going to like it better, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I do have some fond memories of that movie, some really funny shticks that they did in that movie, and I think I'm going to like it. We'll see.
Yeah, that won't be for a little bit, but I guess we'll see when we get there.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get there eventually. So, in the meantime, I think we should do cast and call.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let me get my phone together. We'll keep it brief. We've learned that cast and call was way too long in the beginning of this
Right,
show.
and I think it's just not the main segment that we want to focus on. So
for sure. But we'll start with,
this
of course.
cast wasn't like huge. There's like the main.
Yeah, and we'll briefly go over Jim Carrey because we've already done his filmography.
The Grinch and
The Grinch.
That it?
Yeah, that was it. Just the Grinch. So yeah, he like I already mentioned the movies he did before this, I should say. He was on In Living Color. He was a huge hit on that, and that was his real breakout, was his sketch comedy on In Living Color. That's where he really got known. He did stand up before that, and he'd been on the late night talk shows, but this was his big break. The same year he put out Dumb and Dumber, along with Jeff Bridges, which we're definitely going to get to this year. It's a hilarious movie. I have seen it not that long ago, within the last couple of years, and it still holds up. It's still very funny. Yeah. And then we'll do The Mask eventually at one point, because that was the third hit movie that he had. I don't remember liking The Mask as much as these other two films.
Is that like a comedy film?
It is a comedy. It's a like supernatural comedy where he embodies some like ancient spirit or demon of some sort, like a Loki kind of thing. Like maybe it is Loki. And like he turns into a screen guy who's like out of control and wacky. It was a big hit. It was Cameron Diaz's breakout role. She was it's her first movie ever, I believe, and she was absolutely knock dead gorgeous in this movie. And she's the romantic interest. But anyway, we'll get to it eventually. Like I said, I don't recall liking it that much back in the day. I did like it, but not that much. But anyway, he's done a number of things. I'm not going to go through all of it, but The Cable Guy is one thing that stands out to me. It's a very odd, dark comedy, but it's one of my favorites of his. He's so great in it. He's very sad and troubled, but funny. And it's an interesting movie. There's so many movies where like there's one scene that just, even if you watch that one scene, it's worth your price of admission. And for The Cable Guy, it's the karaoke jam. When he performs at the karaoke jam, he does.
I've never seen
oh
it.
My goodness, he performs "Don't You Want Somebody to Love" by Jefferson Airplane. It's so good, so good. It's like the dinner table scene from Talladega Nights.
Oh, that's really good.
I mean, the movie's okay, but that one scene alone is worth the price of admission. It's so darn funny. And again, like Anchorman 2. The movie's okay. It's not a great sequel. It's a better sequel to Anchorman than Dumb and Dumber 2 was to Dumb and Dumber. I thought that was terrible. A terrible sequel.
Continue on.
Anyway, this is what we do. We ramble, whatever. And by we, I mean me.
Yeah.
But the scene in the RV in Anchorman 2 is just so funny. And again, worth your price of admission. So he did Liar Liar. He did a lot of other stuff, The Truman Show. I'm gonna stop there. He's a very talented actor. We've already done his filmography. You want to see it in total, just
Go watch The Grinch.
go watch The Grinch. Sean Young, she plays Lois Einhorn / Ray Finkel. Spoiler alert. She's a very lovely actress, big in the 80s. She was in Stripes. She was in Blade Runner, No Way Out, Wall Street, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Ace Ventura, of course. She was also on The Young and the Restless and the sequel to Blade Runner 2049. She was very, very beautiful back in the day. I'm sure she's still very lovely looking, but she's older. And but yeah, she was a real knockout. And the fact that they had her playing a transvestite in this is just
A little odd.
yeah, like she's way too hot for that. She's tall enough, but that's about it. Like, and the fact that her legs are like very sexy legs, and they're supposed to be the legs of a professional football kicker, a male professional football kicker. That's supposed to be the same legs. Like, there's no operation to change that, as far as I know. I mean, like, so that was a little like, okay, whatever.
Well, the whole thing was a stretch. I don't think it was supposed to be realistic at all.
You're right. The movie is a silly comedy, and it's never ever taking itself seriously. So,
No, so it doesn't.
that's a good point. Courtney Cox, we also did her filmography with Scream.
Oh,
When we reviewed that,
she is gorgeous. I think she's the prettiest, one of the prettiest actresses of like the 90s. She's stunning.
no argument here. She's definitely the best looking. She's better looking than Sean Young too. I mean, she's absolutely gorgeous. But she got her start in Friends. That was real big for her. Family Ties. She was on Cougar Town. She's been in a slew of movies, TV shows. She's a huge, huge star. And again, if you want to see her filmography, just go watch Scream. Tone Loc has a small part in this. He was a rapper in the 80s. He did the big hit song Wild Thing and Funky Cold Medina. He wasn't in too many other movies other than this. This is kind of like his try to be an actor, and I don't think it worked out.
Didn't really work.
Yeah, it didn't really work
He
out.
didn't stick out really.
It
so.
didn't work out like it did for Ice-T and Ice Cube and a few other guys, but I thought he was good in this. I thought he was fine.
Yeah, but I guess, like I said, he didn't really stick out.
And then finally we'll just mention Dan Marino is in this playing himself.
Yeah.
And we've got Eva at the door asking to come in right now. Let's see if she wants to. No, I think she walked away. Okay, I was gonna open it and let her make an appearance, but all right. So anyway, that's it for casting call. Like I said, I was gonna keep it brief, even though I went on a little rant midway through.
It's okay.
As I'm wont to do. And now we're going to turn it over to Miss Allie for the synopsis.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is my shtick.
Yes.
So, Ace Ventura, an eccentric, offbeat private detective in Miami, is known for rescuing tame or captive animals. Despite struggles with rent and constant mockery from the Miami Police Department, led by Lieutenant Lois Einhorn, Ventura is hired by Melissa Robinson, the Miami Dolphins publicist, to find their kidnapped mascot, bottlenose dolphin Snowflake, who was stolen just weeks before the upcoming Super Bowl. So, they didn't even go over like in the beginning, but I love this line. I think it was like one of the funniest lines of the whole thing. And he repeats it throughout the movie. When he's talking to the dog that he just rescued, and he's talking about his fake owner, and he's saying, what was it? I don't even know what he's saying, but I just think this part is so funny. Where he goes, "Lahur, Zahur." I think it's so funny. It's one of the only like, and yeah, it was really funny. It was just like one little line, but he says it throughout, and it always stuck out to me.
One little thing I want to, and I've pointed this out before, I think, on the podcast, but one thing about 90s movies is very interesting to me. I don't know, you might feel differently because you didn't grow up in the 90s, but when I'm watching a 90s movie, I almost feel like I'm watching a modern movie.
You always say this, and I just don't. I kind of get it, but not really.
Until Ace answers his beeper.
Oh.
Or somebody opens a flip phone, or they show any kind of technology. Then I'm like, oh yeah, it's the 90s. but other than that, like I said, 80s really stands out. The clothes are just ridiculous, but 90s feels pretty normal. It feels like it could have been easily in the 2000s for me personally.
Maybe in the 2000s. Modern, no.
Well, we're in the 2000s now.
We're in the 2020s.
Yeah, it does anything honestly. Like I can't tell the difference. If you
No,
showed me if
yeah.
you showed me a film from 2004 and then showed me another film from 2024, honestly, and you didn't tell me what years they were in, and I didn't know the actors or about how old they were,
I think
I wouldn't.
I think I could tell the difference.
Maybe I'd be able to tell the difference, but barely.
I could.
Okay.
Yeah. And one thing I want to preface by saying is something, an observation that I have, because I feel like this generation, my generation,
Mm-hmm.
Gen Z, loves to make fun of millennials, especially online, because millennials have a pretty odd sense of humor. If I say so myself, and my mother is a millennial, and I don't think she's part of this group at all because she doesn't have that kind of humor.
Mm-hmm.
But
she's barely a millennial. I would call her an honorary Gen X.
don't make her sound old.
I say honorary because like she was born right on the cusp, and she's come from Peru, where they're like about 5 or 10 years behind.
I guess
culturally, at least back then they were for sure.
But yeah. I think that a lot of millennial humor stems from like this Jim Carrey style of humor. Oh, yeah. I said that I feel like Jim Carrey's style of comedy impacted millennial and some Gen X humor, but not really. I think it has a lot to do with the millennial cringe that like Gen Z now recognizes. Mm-hmm. It's really like overdone expressions and these like silly voices that millennials tend to use, and I think it's very like much inspired by these films and these actors who they thought were hilarious at the time, you know, and I think a lot of it's reflected in like who they are now.
I guess Ace Ventura and Austin Powers. These were a lot of the movies that were popular when they were kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like already an adult. I was 20 when this came out.
So that you're not gonna like use that kind of
as impacted as
yeah. But I definitely think that had a big impact on that.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Yeah, okay, that's a good observation.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So he is investigating the kidnapping, and he finds a rare amber stone in Snowflake's tank. Snowflake is a dolphin, leading him to suspect billionaire Ronald Camp, a collector of exotic animals. However, after sneaking into Camp's party and facing a dangerous encounter with a shark, he rules out Camp as the stone in his ring matches the one found, but is not missing. And he theorizes that the stone is from a 1984 AFC championship ring, and he suggests that a member of the 1984 Dolphins is the culprit.
Let me stop you there. So, a couple things. First off, the montage that they do when he's trying to look for
montage.
Potato. The montage they have of him looking for the players' rings is really funny. It's very good. It's one of the better things of this film. And speaking of good things of this film, there are like 3 lines I wrote down because they're just pretty funny, and a couple of them I've actually used in real life. Like the first one is, oh yeah, like I've said the line before, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. That's pretty funny.
Never in my life have I heard you say that.
I've said it, just not to you. Yeah. And then this one I haven't used, but it's pretty funny where she's like, Lois Einhorn says, "How would you like me to make your life a living hell?" And he says, "I'm not really looking for a relationship, Lois, but thanks for asking." It's pretty good. And then when he says to Lois, because she's a cop, he says, "But maybe I'll give you a call sometime. Is your number still 911?" I thought that was funny. No. All right. I guess I'm alone.
I think that the relationship one is funny, but the 911.
Yeah. But
I can recognize how it's funny. I just don't think it's
funny. But I've definitely said, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. I've said that before.
All right. I believe you.
Yeah, I have. I saw that. I have said
you were meant to see it.
It's not like I'm saying like I made that. I'm not trying to claim like, hey, I made that up. I was using that line before this movie ever came out. No, I'm just saying I stole that line and have used it in life. Just maybe not to you. It's not like I'm claiming something amazing. Like I'm just claiming that I stole a movie line.
Okay.
All right.
And I did a little research because I thought it was a little funny that the Dolphins were in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So the last time that the Dolphins won the Super Bowl was in 1973. Yeah. I also did a little research about the dolphin because we don't currently have a live dolphin.
No, we
But
never have.
They use a real tank that the Miami Dolphins used for their mascot from 1966 to 1968. It was a real mascot, a real dolphin that they had named Flipper.
Okay.
They had a real mascot for those 2 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did. I looked it up. His name was Flipper, and that was kind of the inspiration for Snowflake. So they use a tank that they use for Flipper for Snowflake in this movie. And yeah.
And what years was that?
When they had the dolphin?
Yeah.
1966 to 1968.
So I wonder if they're just naming the dolphin after the famous TV and movie Flipper, or
Perhaps.
if the TV movie Flipper got the name from the Miami Dolphins.
I don't know.
I don't know either. What year was the movie Flipper?
96.
The original movie Flipper.
Oh, 63.
63. Okay, so they stole from the movie. Okay. All right.
But yeah, I thought that was cool because I was like, I wonder if the Dolphins ever really had.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this movie was such good timing. I don't know if you did it on purpose, but we are
about to come up to the Super
be in
Bowl.
the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are not in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they will never be.
Yeah,
they might.
we're filming here from Boca Raton, Florida, and although neither me nor Ali we're big
football enthusiasts.
Yeah, but if we're to root for a team, it would be the Miami Dolphins.
Right. If they were in the Super Bowl, I'd be pumped.
Like if I see that and listen, there have been seasons where I was watching some home games.
Terrible seasons.
Yeah,
Terrible.
I mean, and honestly, the reason I don't too much anymore is because I find my stress levels going up, and just even though I'm not a huge football fan or sports fan in general,
but I get it.
I do get into it. Like when I'm watching a game, I get into it, and I get emotional,
100%.
and I get anxious, and so
I remember I was going to my school basketball game.
Yeah.
My school, I couldn't care less about the basketball team, but watching the game, I'm like getting like pumped. I'm like, oh my gosh, like my team is losing. I'm like upset, you know.
Yeah.
But like,
so yeah, I mean, I would if someone said, "What team are you a fan of?" I'd say, well, the Dolphins would be my team, but
right.
I'm not.
You don't follow it.
Nah,
you don't really.
Nah.
Yeah.
I have just too much going on in my life. Football's just sports in general is not that important to me. I probably, if I would had to pick one sport, I would say it's either boxing or mixed martial arts that I like the most because I don't know, I just enjoy it. But even that, I don't like. I don't like follow it.
I like to watch that with you when you watch. If you watch like a big fight, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
too.
like if there's a really good fight coming on, I'll make a point to watch that. Yeah. And that's about the only thing I ever make a point to watch.
Did you hear that the guy who beat Jake Paul is fighting the guy that he threatened to fight?
No, I know he was in a terrible car accident like a couple weeks after.
No way.
That. Yeah, like somebody in the car with him died.
You mean who was
the guy, the heavyweight champion that fought Jake Paul?
Yes.
His name escapes me right now. He was in a pretty bad car accident, like in Africa or something like that. Like,
but remember he won the fight, and he was
he slaughtered
Tyson
him.
Fury. Or
something.
So
they are gonna fight.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll definitely watch that. Yeah,
I will too.
Yeah, that dude's a monster. I mean, just this is way off topic, but I do like Jake Paul. I think he's a pretty decent fighter and a little brave and a little stupid for getting into the ring with that monster because that guy was just way out of his league.
Well, he made a bunch of money off of that.
Yeah, no, he's
not that stupid, all right? He's a smart guy.
He is smart. But again, like very brave. I'll say he's very brave for stepping in the ring with that guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Right. Sorry. Back on topic. He is investigating. We have the whole montage, and he discovers that everybody still has all of their jewels. All the rings are intact. And he's kind of like, okay, like now what?
Yeah.
Then Roger Predactor, the Dolphins' head of operations, dies mysteriously. And while the police believe it was suicide, Ventura proves that it was actually murder.
That was a decent scene.
A funny scene.
Yeah, that was a good scene. Yeah, for sure. He really showed them up. You know, I think they were saying originally like he was supposed to be like a bumbling detective and kind of like not very good at his job. And when Jim Carrey took over the role, he's like, I'm going to be silly and I'm going to be wacky and I'm going to be like idiotic, but I am going to be good at my job. This character is going to be good at his job. And that's exactly how he performs.
Yeah. Oh, and I completely skipped over this, but I wrote it in my notes because I thought it was a really good scene as well. Back when he's like checking at the tank and he finds the jewel and there's all these reporters coming up and they're like, guys, like where's Flipper? Like to the head of operations.
Yeah.
And like, I think it was really funny when he was the dolphin trainer. That scene was really
that
really
scene
good.
wasn't in the theaters. They added that for the DVD and cable.
Really?
Which good because it is a very funny scene.
Super
When
funny.
he's doing the voice of like the German guy or whatever.
Yes. Hilarious.
Yeah,
I think it
great.
was so good.
Yeah, he does a very good job with that. I have to say, though, the thing I disliked the most from this movie was him talking out of his butt. I think even in my 20s, like, I thought it was okay, kind of funny, but like I never thought it was hilarious. Even then, I think I remember thinking it's a little silly for me. And then now at 52, it's very silly for me.
I don't think I laughed at that. I just don't think I
just,
get it. I guess like his character is like weird and like he does that. But
okay. That's something that like maybe I could see being funny if you're with a group of your friends and you guys are having a few drinks, which I don't drink personally, but you're having a few drinks and then like you're just being silly with your good close friends and you start doing that, talking out of your butt like that. Maybe that could be funny. Depending on the,
if you're talking
the type
to
of humor that your friends like and enjoy,
police,
but like in the middle of a police station, it's stupid.
right?
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, so he proves it was a murder, and his investigation leads him to Ray Finkel, a disgraced former Dolphins place kicker who was drafted mid-season, which is why he didn't already know he was part of the team, because he had a different photo from the beginning of the season. And he missed a potentially game-winning kick in the 1984 Super Bowl.
Laces out, man.
Laces out. So he was the reason that they lost the Super Bowl, ergo a motive.
Yeah. A little side note. I just wanted to say this film, I'll give it credit for being a perfect canvas for Carrey to display his most goofy and wacky art, because he is a ham by nature, and this character and story are perfect for his brand of humor.
Yeah. So Ace travels to Finkel's hometown of Collier County and discovers from Ray's parents that Ray subsequently blames the quarterback, Dan Marino, for incorrectly placing the ball prior to the kick.
Before that happens, I like when he's like frustrated after the montage because he can't find the player and he's like kind of stuck, and he's hanging out with Courtney Cox at her house and he's petting her dog, and he's like, he's a child basically because he doesn't know how to express his anger, and so he's taking it out on her and like implying that she doesn't treat the dog well, and then making comments that she's not attractive. She's like, you're just mad because he's like, he looks unhappy. Do you even feed him, or what do you feed him? He's like making all these innuendos that she's not good to her dog. And then she goes, you're just angry because you couldn't find who the play, whatever. And he goes, oh yeah, and you're ugly. And then she says,
that's so childish.
And then she goes, I think you should leave. And he goes, why? So you can beat him, fatty? It's pretty funny.
I feel like that's the way like me and my friends joke around.
Yeah, and then when he says, why don't you cry about it? Saddlebags. Which is like ridiculous because she is neither ugly, fat, or has saddlebags. She's like very thin.
What
and
is a saddlebag?
Like love handles, I think. Or
like
maybe it's droopy boobs. Like a saddlebag is like it goes over like a horse, and like there are bags that hang from the horse.
So it's here.
Yeah, so it's either
it's probably here.
It's probably like here, like saddlebags, which is like, I mean, they're funny lines, but like they don't work on her.
They're funny because I feel like it wouldn't be funny.
Or they it
wouldn't be funny if she was fat.
It's a good point. I guess it is funny because she's not ugly, she isn't fat, and she doesn't have saddlebags. Yeah, but he's just, like I said, he's a child who doesn't know how to express his anger. Yeah, he just, So.
And it is funny.
Yeah.
So, we learn that he blames Dan Marino for his kick.
The mom, Ray Finkel's mom, who's like demented, she's like, I think the dad says, the engine's running, but there's no one behind the wheel, because she thinks Ray Finkel's coming back anytime. And then when Ace mentions Dan Marino and the kick, she's like surfing the cookie. She's like, Dan Marino should die of gonorrhea and burn in hell. Cookie?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
And then when they go in Ray Finkel's room, and it's like die Dan. Dan laces out everywhere, like on his room. He's like, what is it? What
a psycho, I think. Or
no, it's like
obsessed much?
No.
Hannibal Lecter?
The mom goes, what a sports fan, huh?
What a sports nut.
Yeah.
That's good. What a sports nut, huh? He's like, he makes some kind of a mention about Hannibal Lecter or something. Yeah.
Is that the guy who eats people?
That's the one who I couldn't think of the name. Silence of the Lambs the other day. It was like driving me batty. Yeah.
That's a movie?
Yeah. That's the first. I mean, actually, technically, the first Hannibal Lecter movie was a movie called Manhunter, which was remade as the movie Red Dragon. They come from books. There's books, and but the first movie is this, as Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, The Silence of the Lambs with him and Jodie Foster. It was nominated for Best Picture. Might have won. I think some of them won Best Actor. I should really, I was one thing I love about Rusted Junk is that on the show, one of the guys does Oscar bounce. So if the movie had any Oscar nominations or wins, they go over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't do that much homework. So there's no Oscar bounce here,
Yeah.
but it was definitely nominated and even won some Oscars. But anyway, it was a great movie.
I'll
And then
watch it.
they did a sequel, which is actually a prequel to it, called Red Dragon. And that was actually a remake of Manhunter.
Got you.
And then the third, actually, that was done third. The second movie with Anthony Hopkins was Hannibal, which is a sequel. It is a sequel to Silence of the Lambs, yeah. Anyway.
So, Ventura also learns that Finkel had been committed for homicidal tendencies shortly after the Dolphins released him, following the Super Bowl loss. With Marino's subsequent kidnapping, Ventura suspects Finkel is seeking revenge. You have something to say?
When he brings his theory to Einhorn and she starts kissing him, he's like, your gun is digging into my hip.
Oh. That's so weird when you find out. It's so odd.
It's not as funny at the time, and then you
Yeah.
look back on it, I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny.
I guess.
I will say this, like, I like that during the chase scene when he's driving the car with his head out the window because the windshield's all cracked. He has to drive every time he drives, his head's out the window so he can see, and they shoot a bullet and he catches the bullet in his teeth. That's great because it just clearly illustrates that this is a silly movie. Don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
because he would have been dead.
Yeah, no one can catch a bullet in their teeth. Like, it's like this just emphasizing, hey guys, don't take this too seriously. This is just a goofy movie. Like, just have a good time. Yeah. So.
Okay. So then he talks to Einhorn, and then he discovers he wants to find out more about Ray Finkel to see why. So he disguises as a patient at a psychiatric facility, and he comes across a newspaper clipping with an article on Einhorn described as a missing hiker.
Yeah.
He calls Amelia, who snoops around her desk, finding a love letter from Podactor.
So it's funny because right after I made this note, there's a line in the movie that almost emphasizes exactly what I wrote. So as he's doing his shtick at the mental hospital playing the crazy guy, I wrote, Ace's impression of a mental patient wasn't too far off from his usual personality. And then 30 seconds after I wrote that, the psychiatrist or the doctor at the hospital asks Courtney Cox, does he have a long history of mental illness? And she says, as long as I've known him. I'm like, okay, so the movie recognizes that it isn't too far off from his regular personality either. Because she's basically saying that was a pretty good line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So with the help of the animals in his apartment, he discovers that Einhorn is actually Finkel, disguised as a woman. And he's going crazy. He's like, Finkel, Einhorn, Einhorn, Finkel, Finkel, Einhorn, Einhorn, Finkel. And I don't even know how he realized
You missed it. Yeah, you asked me and I told you because
I think
he's got the picture.
He's
got the picture of Ray Finkel on the table, and then his dog with long hair lays his head right next to the picture, and the dog's long hair sprays over the picture, so it looks like Ray Finkel has long flowing hair, and that's when he realizes oh, it's a girl. And so that's when he comes to the realization.
That's
and
ridiculous.
Then as they're going through the whole overblown thing where he's showering and scrubbing and putting a plunger on his face, and one thing that is funny about that whole scene is they were playing the crying game, which I know you don't get the reference.
I think you explained it to me.
I did, but it's
we don't have to talk about it.
Well, it was a popular movie that came out a couple years earlier about a transvestite, and the guy falls in love with the transvestite, not knowing it's really a man, and then when he finds out like he has a similar reaction, but then winds up actually falling in love with the person. Anyway, because he had already fallen in love with the person, and so winds up staying in love with the person and staying with them. But I digress. That movie is called The Crying Game, and the soundtrack is so there's a song called The Crying Game by Boy George, and that's the song they're playing. Which
Boy
is,
George.
You don't know who Boy George is? He
What
was
kind
a
of name is that?
he was a it was like a I mean, this was in the 80s, and he wasn't technically a transvestite, but he was a man who dressed a lot like a woman with long hair and has a very feminine voice and is homosexual.
Oh.
I don't think he considers himself trans, but he's just homosexual and very artistic and very like feminine. And so, yeah, he's a talented artist. He had a lot of hit songs. You would know at least 2 of his hit songs if you heard them. You'd be like, oh, I know that song.
Okay.
But anyway.
Anyways, on the day of the game, the Super Bowl, Ventura confronts Einhorn at a yacht storage facility. Is that where Marino is?
Yeah.
Holding Marino and Snowflake as hostage.
Yeah.
In a dramatic revelation, Ventura, with help from Marino, exposes Einhorn as Finkel and Predactor's killer, which I thought was really stupid. It was ridiculous.
What?
Like the exposing. It's like
yeah, it's
ridiculous.
And he's got it tucked back, and he's like, yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Whatever.
That's why I think I think I'm gonna like When Nature Calls better. I think it probably wasn't as popular as this one because this one was a huge hit. That one I think was a mild hit, but I'm thinking I'm probably gonna like it better. It's a lot less controversial with that kind of stuff, and it's still silly, but it's we'll see. I guess we'll see when the time comes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just to conclude out, Einhorn attempts to stab Ace, but is taken down, and the ring with the missing stone is found on her. Or him. Her? I don't know. Leading to their arrest. The climax unfolds at the Super Bowl's halftime when Marino and Snowflake are celebrated, and Ventura is hailed as a hero on the Jumbotron. And he's like beating up the Philadelphia Eagles mascot, and then like
a lover of animals as he's beating up the bird.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. And so yeah, I mean, not as good as I remembered it, and you feel the same way, but still good enough. And
I didn't have a bad time watching it.
No, and there's a lot of funny moments in it.
Yeah.
There's a few cringe moments too, but okay. They can't all be
A's.
I thought you said Ace. I'm like, huh? Wait, A's. Okay.
Yeah, A's.
Got it. So now it's time for a segment that we like to call Fun Facts. Okay. All right. So I'll kick it off. The short scene during the party when Ace pulls the cellist's arm as he walks by, making him produce a false tone, was improvised by Jim Carrey. And I remember laughing.
That's funny.
I laughed out loud when he did that. That's pretty funny. He's just walking by casually, he just pulls his arm. It's pretty good.
That was him.
Yeah. The voice of Ace Ventura and the manner in which he speaks was added by Jim Carrey only after several read-throughs of the script. The voice was something Carrey used in his stand-up routine. Alrighty then, was the catchphrase of one of his stand-up characters, and after the line from the script weren't feeling right, he added it to the script and read through it again, using that voice for all the lines. It was such an improvement that it became the main Ace Ventura personality trait.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
That was a good line. That's funny.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I'm not going to try to do it like he does it because I'm not Jim Carrey.
No, but it's good.
It is good, yeah.
The original concept was that the pet detective was a bumbling idiot. Oh, we already went over this. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Originally, Ace wasn't written to be animal-related, but more of a generic Sherlock Holmes parody. Screenwriter Jack Bernstein came up with a pet detective idea after watching a David Letterman sketch about pet owners.
Stupid Pet Tricks, probably. That was a recurring segment on the David Letterman show. Stupid Pet Tricks.
There were a few moments during the scene at the Finkel house where Jim Carrey made hand puppets with the light from the movie projector. Tom Shadyac felt it was too late in the film, that the mystery was getting too involved for him to be making jokes such as this, so they were cut. But this gag would appear, though, in the sequel, When Nature Calls. The ass-talking scene was started in living color.
I'm gonna have to bleep you.
Oh. Is that like a jab at me?
Yeah,
Well,
because that's the word I said. You were like, I'm gonna have to bleep you, but we didn't bleep. We didn't want him doing it, so I'm not gonna actually bleep you.
Didn't we? Oh no,
No,
that was
remember I was
ass.
and I pulled my
Ass.
shirt.
Yeah. I remember. Frustrated one day with Keenan Ivory Wyan's constant rejection of his pitch sketches, Jim Carrey stood up and read a sketch from his butt in Wyan's direction. The two almost fought before Wyan walked out of the room. Later, we sat down, talked, and everything was cool.
Yeah, Keenan Ivory Wayans would have beat the crap out of Jim Carrey. He was a pretty strong dude. Funny guy. Him and his brother, Damon Wayans was the funniest. The whole family is like, Sean Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr. They're all very, very good actors. Kim Wayans, the sister. But Damon Wayans was the breakout star. But Keenan Ivory Wayans was the oldest brother, and he's the one who got the ball rolling for the whole family with the movie I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, and then producing and creating in living color and putting his family in the show. He was the genius behind it all. He's funny himself, but not as funny as Damon. Damon's the funniest of all of them, in my personal opinion. Anyway, in 2011, but yeah, Keenan Ivory was pretty jacked. I don't think Jim Carrey would have stood a chance against him. In a 2011 interview, Tom Shadyac, the director, admitted that when he first saw the film, he was worried that it might end him and Jim Carrey's career. Yeah, like I had said, clearly it did the opposite. As expected, there were concerns, mostly with Jim Carrey's performance from Morgan Creek, the film production company. After watching the dailies, they wondered if, or even when, they would ever see the human side of Ace. But the director, Tom Shadyac, explains he and his production team understood the cartoon nature of Ace, but also recognized how sweet and loyal the character was, especially when dealing with animals. Which I love this scene. We didn't get to it, but when the whole scene is great. First, when he's going to his apartment and the landlord shows up, he's like, I forget what he says to him. It's like, "Hey, Ventura," or something like that. And he goes, "Satan, is that you?"
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. And then I love that he does a special jiggle with the keys. All the animals know. They know he's got him trained so perfectly well. They all know to hide. And then when the landlord leaves and he shuts the door and he's like, "Oh, come to me, animal friends!" And they all go. They all come pouring out. Yeah, it's funny. A great scene. It's lovely. And I do like how he is so special with animals. Right. He's so sweet with them. Jim Carrey revealed on the Inside the Actors Studio that he based Ace Ventura on a small bird. A smart bird, a cockatiel or a parakeet of some kind. The clothing I picked was all like a colorful bird, a tropical bird. The walk was bird-like. Everything was about a bird. When I spoke, everything was based on a bird, even the hairstyle. I didn't know that or notice it, but now that he says it, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, 100%.
A deleted scene where
we can skip that. That's what we talked about. You love when he plays the German trainer, and it was deleted, and then they added it. Yeah.
Jim Carrey recruited Dan Marino for the movie by meeting him for lunch as Ace Ventura and harassing other patrons. Mm-hmm. I wonder why they chose the Miami Dolphins.
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I guess I could have done it anywhere, but
well, I mean, not every team, but like the Eagles. There's a lot of animal teams.
True, that's a good point.
So I'm just wondering why Dolphin.
I don't know. I mean, Miami's a pretty nice area. It's a very sunny area. I'm sure people would love filming a movie there.
Did they actually film it in Miami?
I think so. Yeah. I could see a lot of Miami places in Miami that are in the background. Yeah.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just wondering why.
I don't know.
So, Jennifer Aniston told a story about visiting Courtney Cox and bringing a copy of this film to watch, but Courtney refused to watch it.
Yeah, I wonder if she didn't like the movie that she had made. That's interesting.
I don't know why. Jim Carrey had his own personal chef on the set of the film, who was also required to prepare meals for Carrey's pet iguana. Huh. I'll just read one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
The black eyes Randall Tex Cobb were actually not makeup. He showed up to the set with them. Tom Shadyac assumes that these were from a couple of bar brawls the actor had been in.
Yeah, it doesn't really say. I was trying to look up why they filmed it in Miami or chose the Dolphins, but I guess that's just what the writer decided. Yeah. Anyway, where are we at?
I just finished.
Oh, you finished the whole page? Okay. So, yeah, Jim Carrey uses the same voice and mannerisms for his In Living Color sketch character, overly confident gay man, as he did for Ace Ventura. In one of the sketches, he even uses the alrighty then phrase. I did used to do like an impersonation of Jim Carrey's Fire Marshal Bill. And when I was like in my 20s, I
don't know what that is.
I'm not going to do it now, but I did it 30 years ago. And Friends, no, I know. You're so disappointed. It's a pretty funny character. It was one of his popular ones.
Okay.
Woodstock's nickname for Ace Ventura is Saint Francis. This is a reference to Saint Francis of Assisi, the Catholic patron saint of animals. Later in the movie, when Ace is at Shady Acres, a statue of Saint Francis of Assisi can be seen behind the doctors as he is talking to Courtney Cox's character. Do you recall visiting Assisi with me?
In Italy?
Yes. And going to the home of Saint Francis?
I don't remember exactly which one it is. You know, at a certain point, I'm going to be honest, most people who have traveled in Europe for more than like 3 days, at some point, all of the churches start to look the same.
I would disagree with you, but maybe
No,
at your age,
maybe
I don't know.
they don't look the same, but like, just like, wow, another beautiful church.
I was actually very moved by the town of Assisi and
certain ones stuck out.
And Saint Francis of Assisi. He is my favorite saint. I've often talked about how I'm not a Catholic per se, but I do like the saints. Like the saint, I don't pray to the saints. I pray only to God. But I do like the saints. I like learning about them, and
they're cool.
And yeah, they're very cool. And Saint Francis is one of my favorites. I actually have his bobblehead. But when we were there, I actually got a prayer card with Saint Francis on it, and I had kept it in my wallet for couple of years, just because he's my favorite saint. And then I actually gave it to a patient who he was going to be transferred for a heart operation, and like he was having a heart attack, and I was transferring him out, and he was crying and very scared, and so he had a cross on. So I had a nice conversation with him, and I gave him the prayer card, and I said, "You're going to be just fine. Saint Francis of Assisi is going to watch over you. I'm giving this
That's
to you."
so cute.
And he was sort of bawling. He was so grateful for it. So yeah, I kind of miss it, but I'm glad it went to somebody who needed it at the time. Anyway, yeah. So going from Saint Francis of Assisi, Cannibal Corpse made their guest appearance in the movie. The song
Who is that?
It's a heavy metal band that's in the movie.
Oh.
Okay. The song that they were playing was Hammer Smashed Face, one of their most famous songs.
Lovely.
I don't know it personally, but good for you, Cannibal Corpse. Okay. It was very important for the character of Ron Camp to be played by a non-comedian. The director cast Udo Kier because of how serious he would take the part. Walking with a cane was Kier's idea.
Who is Ron Camp?
The rich guy that they go to the party. Yeah. Like when he goes, "I'm a lawyer. I'm an attorney. Yeah, I concentrate on malpractice cases of people getting food poisoning at rich people's houses," or something like that. He's like, "How's the pate?" or whatever. He's like implying he's going to be suing. Anyway, it's kind of funny.
Lauren Holly turned down the role played by Courtney Cox, but co-starred with Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber later in the year. Holly and Carrey eventually got romantically involved for a few years afterwards.
They did. Yeah.
I have no idea who that is. I'm sorry.
She's the redhead in Dumb and Dumber, the main girl.
I just remember Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, she's Mary Swanson as your character. Not Mary Samsonite.
Oh, thanks. I was confused for a second.
Well, you don't remember when he's like trying to remember her name, and they're looking in the phone book, and he's like, he's like Swanson. So he goes Swanson, and then Jeff Daniels is like, well, maybe it's on the briefcase, and he looks at the briefcase and goes, oh, Samsonite. I was way off. Oh. Samsonite makes briefcases. That's the company. Because he had it. He had it. He said Swanson. Oh, Samsonite. I was way off.
Got you.
Yeah.
In the scene after the landlord examines the apartment, we see penguins emerge from a pet door in the refrigerator. The single black line of feathers in the white field of their torso indicates these are tropical penguins who don't live in cold temperatures. They are frequently used in productions to stand in for cold weather penguins from the frigid South Pole because it's easier logistics involved with no needing to provide a cold environment for the birds, and because most people don't know the difference, which is actually very smart because I would have never known. I would have been like, wow, penguins.
Yeah. Ditto.
The fictitious shipping company in the opening scene is called HDS. When each individual letter is flipped 180 degrees, it reads UPS. The company clearly parodied in this scene.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll just do one or two more and we'll call it.
Okay.
So I did want to get to this one here, as I always like to know like who was originally cast or who might have played the part. That's always fun for me. So before Jim Carrey was attached to the movie, there were other actors considered before he was. The first choice was for Ace Ventura was Rick Moranis, but Moranis turned down the role in order to do the Flintstones instead. After Moranis said no, Judd Nelson, that's the criminal from The Breakfast Club.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Was then considered for Ace Ventura. Alan Rickman, the bad guy in Die Hard.
No, Snape.
Oh, Snape. Sorry, I was going to say, as you know, I'm Snape. Alan Rickman was also considered for the role. No.
Well, what are these people? Rick Moranis is the
Moranis,
only one.
Yeah, especially when they wanted him to be like a bumbling detective. That would have worked for sure. Then, after having trouble finding an actor for the lead, the filmmakers considered changing Ace Ventura to female and changing the name to Alice Ventura. If that happened, their first choice would have been Whoopi Goldberg. All right, that I could see. She at least is a comedic actress. After deciding to keep Ace Ventura male and keep looking for male actors, filmmakers then approached Rob Schneider to play Ace Ventura, but Schneider turned down the movie as he wasn't interested. He was on Saturday Night Live. He was in you saw the movie, the Adam Sandler movie with David Spade and Rob Schneider, Kevin James, Chris Rock. They're all high school friends.
Grown-ups.
Grown-ups, yes.
Which one is he?
The short one with the dark hair.
Oh.
Who's got the hot daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daughters, yeah,
that's right. Eventually, filmmakers noticed Jim Carrey's performance on the show In Living Color and developed an interest in having Jim Carrey play Ace Ventura, who clearly turned the character into his own creation. Yeah. So I think that's enough. Boop. Sorry, guys. I didn't fly as far as I wanted it to. So here's a little fun announcement. After this, we're going to go watch the Lord of the Rings, Two Towers in the theaters, extended edition. And then tomorrow we're going to see Lord of the Rings, Return of the King in the theaters, extended edition. We just watched Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. And I know my Allie's not into Lord of the Rings, but because she loves her daddy, and she's like, all right, I'll watch them with you. I'm like, really? So I'm like, I'll buy you popcorn. I'll buy you candy. We'll get Chick-fil-A on the way. Except tomorrow. They're closed, but yeah. So she's like, you don't have to bribe me, Dad. I already said yes, but I'll still take it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're considering maybe just doing a special episode.
We were.
Yeah. Yes, we talked about this. You said, well, I don't want to do 3 episodes. Maybe just do one.
Perhaps we'll do one and just
one
simply
episode and just cover all 3 movies, and maybe even, well, I don't know. We might just drop it as one of our regular podcasts, or
perhaps.
Yeah, but maybe look out for that, because we're probably gonna. I feel like it's a waste seeing those, and just
let us know if you would be interested in something like that, because I'm sure some of you guys are Lord of the Rings fans. I know it's a very popular franchise, so yeah, and it actually will be my first time seeing Two Towers, and
yeah, you had seen Fellowship one time before that as a Father's Day present to me, but yeah, this will be your first time watching Two Towers and Return of the King. But I have to say, it seemed like you enjoyed Fellowship more this time around.
I did, and hopefully I will enjoy the other 2. I wouldn't say I loved it. I would say it was a little bit, I wouldn't say I loved it, but I did enjoy it. I think it was like, okay, this is a good story. I recognize it's a good story. I'll watch the next 2.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And it did leave me wanting more, so I think that's good. I did want to know what happened, because it kind of, so yeah.
All
So
right.
I'll go into it with an open mind, and I'll be like, yes, I'm gonna like these. So.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what next, not next week, because in 2 weeks we'll do with the next episode. It might be Lord of the Rings, it might be something else.
Oh,
Yeah.
When is this being released?
This is being dropped in about 4 days, like 5 days, like on
Okay.
next Thursday or Friday.
All right, I will.
Today, by the way, guys, we're filming this on the 24th, but we'll
Yeah.
drop it next week.
So maybe we'll do 10 things I hate about you.
Yeah, so it'll either be 10 things
Yeah,
I hate
I'll
about
have-
you, or it'll be the Lord
I'll
of the
talk
Rings
to Nikki.
special edition.
She'll come.
Yeah, so if Nikki's down, maybe we'll do 10 things I hate about you, and if she's not, maybe we'll do Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So
I guess you'll find
I
out.
guess you'll just wait and see, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So
This has been Rewind GenX podcast with Matt and Allie.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Allie.
God bless.